All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Who are you?
I'm Dave.
And I'm Lisa.
Lisa, this is one of the last times we're going to be doing this.
Actually, it is the last time.
It's the very last
Unless you
time.
invite me back as a special guest.
I could. Yeah.
I'd love that.
We are, it's also the last Herald of the season because this is the last week of Life Group season.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when we first plotted out this season, it was like 20 weeks.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like, that's
that
a
is
long time. Well, we started in January.
Yeah.
Do you remember I don't even remember what the sermon series, I guess it was Matthew?
I think we've been in Matthew
We've been in Matthew
before Christmas.
And then we did Easter.
Yep.
And
now the Wise Life.
The Wise Life, and now we're going to go back to Matthew for the summer.
Yes.
But speaking of summer, we just wanted to talk about some ways for folks to connect. Obviously, over the summer, people are busy. They have vacations. Things kind of slow down in some ways, and they ramp up in others. So we just wanted to talk about ways to connect. Now, this might not be necessarily for you. You might have all the ways that you are going to connect this summer. Some of you are going to keep meeting with your life groups. Mm-hmm. You're going to just keep hanging out and, having each other for barbecues and continuing that. But some of you, or at least at the very least, people who are trying to connect.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to be intentional this summer to help people create space, carve out space.
Ooh, this is good.
Carve out space for people to for people to connect.
That was my electric drill.
That's really more drilling.
I know.
As opposed to carving. But anyway, we're carving out space. So we have a couple different, I guess you could say 3 different spaces or buckets where we're helping people. So you want to talk about them?
Yeah, and I wanted to say something. I didn't know you were going to say this, but it's interesting because there are ways we're going to tell you about that you individually can do, you can do as a group. But I think for you guys as leaders, this summer is also a great time when you're at service to be looking for those people that are looking to connect.
Yeah.
And go to, invite them to a meetup that you're going to or one of the events or maybe even a lab so that you build those relationships. And then it's a natural, invitation when fall comes, hey, we've got space in our life group. We'd love to have you be a part of it. So I hadn't thought about that, but that's another way you can help us as staff. We only get to meet so many people on a weekend, but if you guys all had your antennas, if you will, up of noticing people that really want to connect and can help them, whether or not they're in your life group come fall, but just that would be awesome and help us out a lot.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, almost always, the jump from being in the church service to a life group is just a bridge too far. And these are intermediary events. Mm-hmm. A lot of people to meet each other, connect. And so these are great opportunities. So there's 3 main buckets.
3.
We'll talk about them one by one, I guess.
So let's start with meetups.
Sure.
Yeah. Meetups are just, as you know, we've done in the last couple summers, really just things that we love to do and invite other people to do them.
That's right.
So there are a ton of them in
there's
June
quite a few.
and July.
They're one-time, one-off events, usually around something fun. So the whole point of this is not really necessarily spiritual. It's just getting together as human beings, realizing we have something in common, and then people will be like, wow, that was really fun, and there was no spiritual pressure. And now I go to church, and I feel like I connect to these people. So it's just fun. They're one-time events.
Yep.
And they're everything from park days to bicycle riding to
hiking. So June 11th, 8:30 at Quicksilver. If you want to go on a hike with me,
that's right.
Please come.
That's right.
It will be fun.
And the whole point of these is just, again, social connection.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Number 2.
Number 2.
Are actual events.
Yes.
And these are interesting because they're like gatherings and activities, but they're done by demographic.
Yes.
So,
what are some demographics, Lisa?
Yeah. So students, they have a camp during the summer.
Well, they have lots of events.
They
students,
do.
YP, Young Professionals.
Young Professionals. And these are actually opportunities not only for connection, but some of them are growth opportunities as well. Because they have a praise and worship night, which is awesome. College crew, that's another demographic. Young families.
Young families is another demographic.
Days, things like that.
Men and then women. So these are, again, the point is just to get folks into these groups to help them connect and do that.
Yeah.
And then the third.
We have 4 things in our third bucket. Yay, 2 thumbs up. And they're labs. And so Dave, you tell us a little bit about the labs.
Labs are intentional learning environments where we come together in small little cohorts to travel together for a season to learn something particular about God or ourselves or the world. So,
are we traveling to a destination?
No, just traveling together, just kind of in
general. If you want to Hawaii, I'd be happy to lead that one.
Metaphorically traveling. And so these are usually felt need, and they're usually led by our pastoral staff and or experts. that we bring in just to try to delve deeply into a topic. We got 4 of them this year. The first one is for parents, Parent Lab. And the title of this lab is Essential Conversations About Raising Children in Today's Age. And this is for everything from, and this is interesting, it's not just for older students, it's also for elementary age students. So it's helping you be a better parent, whether you have little ones or older ones. And then once you're in that lab, just so you know, if you're like a high school parent, you won't be at a table or paired with people who are new parents. That wouldn't make a lot of sense.
No.
So they're gonna make sure that the table distribution is for junior high parents, high school parents.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
so you hear an overall arching message, and then how does that apply to my
exactly
child's
because
age?
as you know, parenting dramatically shifts and changes throughout the years.
Yes,
dramatically.
I know. See these gray hairs?
Okay.
I totally understand that. But
Yes,
anyhow,
yes. So
it's
that's one, and that's going to be at our Saratoga campus. The next one is, Am I Really Making a Difference? How to Bring Real Hope and Joy with Your Life. And this is by Finney Abraham, who, and really, honestly, this is just, Finney developed this because he wanted to help train all the folks who are super passionate and very good on our Beautiful Day team, who serve with Beautiful Day, who do stuff out in the community. His passion was to train those folks so that they have the right heart and that they can be more effective as they serve. But there was so much interest in what it means to make an impact with your life.
Yeah.
And it's not just outside the walls. It's also making an impact right here. There's a lot of people who find real joy and purpose in serving in particular ministries inside the church and outside the church. So it's both, of course.
It's both and.
Yeah, because serving is serving. It doesn't matter if you do it inside or outside the walls.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
And
thing.
we're wired and created to do it. So
100%. And
great.
we find great joy when we find the thing.
Yeah.
What's that quote from Frederick Buechner? Where the world's great need meets your great passion.
There you go.
I love that. That's exactly where it is.
That makes sense.
The next 2 are kind of similar. One of them is going to be at the Saratoga campus. It's called the Wisdom Lab: Biblical and Practical Insights into Relationships, Stress, and Anxiety.
Ooh.
We did the survey a couple of months ago, and what popped out overwhelmingly was that people were feeling stressed, they were feeling anxious, and they had relational stress.
Yeah.
So we just want to have a panel of experts, pastoral experts, and also counselors and folks come to talk about each of those. These are labs you can drop in and drop out of, but I mean, in general, it'd be great to attend. And we'll do some real hard work there. And
nice.
That's going to be really helpful.
Yeah.
And the other one is very similar. It's at the South Hills campus. I'm actually leading it. It's titled "I'm Barely Making It: Moving from Frenetic Stress to Joy and Strength." And that is just, again, in response to the survey. A lot of people are feeling like the pace of life. Basically, what happened is the pandemic happened, and people are trying to come out of the pandemic at the same speed they were before the pandemic.
Wow.
Without realizing that the past 2 years have taken a real toll, and that there's some unhealthy tendencies that we've developed accidentally in the last 2 years. So we're going to be going through John Montgomery's book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, which is, honestly, Lisa, it's just tricking people into thinking about some very important and ancient disciplines of silence and solitude and simplicity, but in a fresh context. So
sounds like a perfect timing. When we were in the middle of the pandemic, many of us said, "Oh man, we don't want to just rush back into when," and yet we do.
Yeah,
so
we did.
To pause this summer and have some time to revisit that.
So whether you're a parent or whether you're really looking to serve and make an impact, or whether you're dealing with anxiety or depression or stress, or just feeling like you're barely making it and you just came out of this, there's a lab for you, and those are going to be great too. So these are all ways to connect
and grow, and that's kind of our theme for this summer.
Connect and grow. I love that.
Grow.
Yeah, connect with each other and then grow, both in our relationships with each other and with God Himself.
So we're really looking forward to it, and gosh, you guys, I hope as this is your last week officially of Life Group season, that you really have time this summer to pause as well and to relax and to rest. Join us for one of the labs or one of the events. Encourage your people, if you're trying to get together and you're not sure quite how to do it, pick a meetup and say, "Hey guys, those of you that can, let's meet at this meetup, or let's go to this lab together." Whatever works for you guys. But we really do pray that you'd be refreshed. Thank you beyond words for your commitment this last year to your group and this last season in particular. man, it's such a joy to read the meeting reports and to see the ways that God is working through the difficult as well as just these requests that you guys have prayed so hard about as a group together, and watching God answer them. Sometimes as we think, sometimes not as we could imagine, but always for the best and the good of us, because God loves us. So it's amazing. So
it's really great. And you can check out all this information at westgatechurch.org/summer. And we're going to continue on in our Matthew sermon series. And it's not like it's light and fluffy summer. We're getting right into the Sermon on the Mount, which is basically a sledgehammer to the face. But it's really, really powerful stuff. So we're excited. It's going to be a great summer of connecting and learning and connecting and growing. So.
And just an FYI, you guys, after this week, just know your meeting reports will be turned off. You don't need to write anything about your meetings this summer. Dave, there won't be any teaching team or teaching notes.
Yeah, there won't be life group questions.
No for the Herald.
All that next couple weeks until we enter into the fall.
Yeah, but we're confident you guys on your own can pick those couple of things that whoever's teaching are nuggets to put in your back pocket and to go deeper in your heart. So love you all. Thanks for the privilege for me personally of just journeying with you over these last number of years. It has been a complete honor. I have grown so much just by watching you and your faithfulness. Just so grateful for the ways that God has used you. So well done.
Well, it's not like they're not going to see you.
It's true. If you're at
Saratoga all the time. So
I'll be living there. So feel free to call me anytime.
All right, guys. Well, Lisa, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.